Me, Ivo, like I said, I'm so done with this. This is just abuse of the entire people of this whole world. Yes, people have to go through dark night of the soul to be made to wake up. The first thing they have to wake up to is they don't need leadership. Humans are leaders by design. Ivo, correct, my love. What do you wish to discuss then? Me, I want to discuss our plans to go forward with our own community. I also want to continue to put out videos on how to take your power back. We've been pushing people and pulling people, and some are getting it. Some realize they have innate powers that are latent right now, or that they have powers that they can't see but are active. But there are so many people on this planet who are already making use of their healing energies. They're using their minds to change the course of events, like Cobra's meditations to change the timelines. In one of the first group meditations I got involved in, we shut down the electrical at Fort Worth, Texas Army Base. We don't need a Mr. T. We don't need a Jesus. Jesus sent us. When will people get that through their heads? They're codependent, waiting to be rescued because they think they are disempowered victims, suffering from mind control. And that includes a lot of people who follow us as well. They think Mr. T will save them. Mr. T will bring jobs back to America and will make you work your asses off again, at something you don't like. Mr. T is old school, folks. He's not about bringing a new system into this world. From what I read about Gesara, it doesn't really differentiate much from the old way of working for a living. Saint Germain funds would alleviate that. Right now Mr. T is using them to keep you in money. You're all on the dole. What do you think Mr. B is going to do now that he's in power? He'll lock down all of the states because he knows you hate him. Good luck, guys. It's better to be Canadian now. Where are the Saint Germain funds going to go? Who has the key to that vault? Does Mr. B have access to it? Does he have access to the gold that was taken out of the Vatican a while ago? What do you think he's going to do with it if he does? You'd better hope he doesn't have access to it. They had plans to crash the system and to vaccinate every person. The only place you'll be able to buy anything is from a GMO food store or from Amazon. Nothing else. They'll wipe out all small business. Bill G will rear his face to take on the Mr. Hyde role again. Ivo, many of these people are already arrested. Many are continuing to be arrested. Me, well, that's good news. Ivo, Mr. T is still President of the United States, the new United States. And he is arresting anyone who opposes that. Me, or letting them be inaugurated. I'm tired of this shit, Ivo. Tired of it? Like the people on Venus, we all need to walk away. The system is corrupt any way you look at it, and doesn't support people's true values, and it minimalizes the human expression into burger flipping and ringing in goods at the dollar store. Do you think that that was all you were born for? Yeah, Mr. T does. He wants to make America great again, but how about you? How great does he want you to be? Ivo, I agree with that, my love, but some must learn. Some, like yourself, are already ready for a new world. So you will create it along with us. You need not concern yourself with the government because they will no longer have any effect on you. My love, I beseech you, do not follow the virus rules for your province. They do not affect you. You will move about unhindered as you seek the house you are to buy. As with many things you have done, you will appear to be getting away with it, but in fact you are using universal law which supersedes any law perpetrated against you on earth. All light workers subscribe to universal law, unless they choose not to. If they choose to align with your laws on earth, then they limit themselves. For those who are above the system, remain above it. Do not concern yourself with what is happening in governments, medicine, unless you have a specific role to play in changing it. There are many who are above the system, and yes, what you see feels like abuse to you. However, many are still part of the system, not completely woken up, and yes, as Sheran says, looking for Jesus to save them. What they are looking to be saved from is from something they have collectively created. Your collective consciousness is splitting into three-dimensional groups now, no longer one. Understand, you create your reality. When you do this, you are in charge. You no longer need politicians and bankers to help you because you are creating this reality. The more informed you stay of what is concerning others who do not realize this, the more you are part of their reality and less of your own. No wonder Sheran becomes angry whenever it appears that the people have been betrayed. Your planet is in it for the long haul. So many are above the system already, and others are waiting for the system to free them. If a system were to free them, it would not be a system anymore, would it? A system is created and the first priority, of course, is to always ensure its own survival, if not for its own sake but for the sake of those it serves. So as long as there is belief in the system, you will never be free. Me, thank you Ivo. You make so much sense. Ivo, we have been through this, my love, you simply do not remember. But such was the case on Vega and other star systems we have lived in. We were Orions as well. We have been through this before, although not such a dramatic scenario as has been created here. Me, maybe we can discuss our experiences there. Ivo, I would be happy to. After checking through videos. Me, whoa. People are pissed. All the comments on Simon Parkes and Charlie Ward's video speak of the pain of being betrayed. Here's one: what happened? Nothing happened, that's what. Do you know how much you said that hasn't been true? Wow. Why are you even talking about it? You lied to us. Ivo, people are not happy at seeing Mr. B as President of the United States. Me, I'd be one of them. Imagine that 80% of the people of the US are fuming right now, and with Mr. T. I'll bet he's lost popularity already. Ivo, yes, there is anger. A lot of it. They feel they have been sold down the river. Me, yes. I feel this too. I cut off all the people who were sending me political posts, the letter after P posts, trying to figure out the messages, the pundits who have been Mr. T supporters for years. Cut them all off. I don't want to know about it. Why? Because I'm here to tell people that there is a better way than going through this gut-wrenching stuff that's been going on lately. I still, however, hope that we haven't been lied to. But I'm not assuming that we haven't been lied to. I'm doing it differently. I have been doing it differently for a while, as you point out, Ivo. I will not be depending on a political system for my well-being, or for my longevity. I've never completely trusted anyone on this planet, and I still don't. I've had many doubts about Mr. T. It would be too easy to say this has all been one big ruse and that everyone has been fooled. Because who really knows what's in the minds of the people carrying this out? What type of relationships they truly have, what types of deals they've made between themselves. You don't know. We depend on them to be honest with us, and we don't know whether they have been or not. Now the other person has been sworn in, which some pundits said would happen. And it did. But apparently this for the sake of completing the steal or optics as they call it. Some have even said that all the guards and the fencing around DC is to keep them imprisoned. Man. Who wants to go through this? Americans have got to be feeling extremely angry right now, and who can blame them? I know those people who put out the letter after P posts are going through details, wondering why Mr. B's Bible looked like some old thing from a medieval castle, and why Ms. H's Bible was newer. Which God was he swearing to? All this stuff. More clutching at straws. There is a better way. This is our message. And that better way only involves understanding basic metaphysics. And that is that you create your reality. And so in a way, by believing in Mr. T, you have created this. We said in our last video that the people want peace, and so this is the end goal of our collective timeline, but we don't have peace now, not by a long shot. I wouldn't be surprised if there was rioting in the streets right now. I haven't checked, but it wouldn't surprise me. I think people need to take this time now to understand there's a better way. Before Mr. T comes back and puts you back into slavery to an economic system, and maybe you'll get your chunk of gold, or maybe they'll just keep it. There's a better way. And that better way is to create your future instead of suffering through the one they had you create for them. It's so easy. Turn off the TV. Start to use your mind. Stop reading the news. Stop even following pundits. You don't need them. You don't even need me and Ivo. The day nobody follows us, we'll know either you're pissed at us or you got our message and you're doing it on your own. I have manifested things, I have manifested the money to buy things, everybody does it all the time. That's the thing about all of this, you already are using universal law, just not that consciously. So learn to use it consciously. Start with small things. I'll go back through my stories. I wanted to get a second-hand computer for $500 and I wanted it with Microsoft Office on it. As I took the streetcar to work, I intuited that the place to buy this computer was in this old-looking shacky-type building along the way. I would keep seeing the building, and just knowing that my computer was in there. One day, on a day off, I went there and found a door ajar, and started to walk through the halls. I bumped into these two men, and I asked them what type of business they ran. They said they ran a computer rental business, where they rented computers out to big businesses in Toronto. I asked if they ever sold them. They said yes. One guy left and I continued talking to the other one. I said I was looking for a second-hand computer. He told me his name and that his girlfriend had just moved in with him and was looking to sell her computer because they didn't need to. When I asked how much she wanted, the price was $500. Folks, you can do this too. I kept going by this one small plaza of businesses in Niagara Falls. Every time I went by on the bus, I was alerted to this small plaza. I knew there was something in this plaza. After I had a fallout with my niece, I looked up her business online. Where do you think she'd opened up shop? Yes. In that plaza. I not only manifested a lifetime vacation from work once, I did it twice. How? Through focusing on the need to get a break from work because it was killing me. I needed to stop working, even temporarily. I manifested long-term disability, and when that was stolen from me, a government disability pension. My doctor was amazed because he said he'd seen people worse off than I was get turned down. Now I know who I am and what I'm capable of, I'm not surprised. I regularly set my sights on what I want and command it to come to me. Another time, on a whim, I went online to check the Niagara Falls newspaper. I hadn't read anything from the falls for ages. I'd left that part of my life behind. On the front page was an article about how the business I'd worked for 12 years was closing. I was shocked. Obviously I'd been directed to find that newspaper that day because of the personal significance of that article. All my old friends would be losing their great jobs. This is you working with God. Nothing less than. Any of us can do it because we're all part of God. Another time I said I'd never work in two places, accountancies and law firms. Both were just way too boring, I figured. I ended up holding down 2 jobs in downtown Toronto. Guess where? Yeah. You can manifest what you don't want as well. All of you do it all of the time. Perhaps the reason you don't believe you can manifest is because you think you always get what you don't want. If that's what you're thinking, that's what you'll manifest too. Be more positive. We all do this automatically. We all manifest all the time. It's realizing how to do it consciously and training your focus. Raising your frequency to get better results. If you didn't manifest all the time, you'd never have hopes and dreams. It's that you have these that allows you to manifest. As long as they align with your life's contract, you'll manifest them. I set my sights on the perfect man. Nobody less would do. And I got him. Long before I even realized that we have twin flames, I manifested Ivo. And he is perfect for me because he is technically my other half. You're always attracting and repelling things all the time. Just make sure you're setting your dials to the right settings. I used to attract what I didn't want. Now I attract what I do want. You are getting hunches. What if you followed them more closely and paid more attention to them? Some of you have incidents at nighttime in so-called dreams, which are just you enacting another reality or your subconscious working through your current baggage. I get so many things happening now, things of little consequence, but they still happen. I think someone will come to knock on the door, within a day, there they are. It just happened now. Imagine the ability to understand your future and what you're attracting before it comes to you. Holy! You can change it, make new plans, or empower it to hurry up. These are the things that I know some of you experience, and they can give you incredible power. If you stop thinking of them as just flukes or yeah, that just happens sometimes. They're not coincidences. They're showing you the fantastic power you can have to create your future. There was the time that my boss had given me a book on how to prevent home break-ins. Yeah, it was sitting on the table when my house got broken into. It wasn't that I was supposed to go out and buy 3-inch screws to rehang my front door right away. What this book was telling me is that if I kept up my nightly habit of going over to my boyfriend's, my daily activity was becoming so predictable that I would be broken into. And that someone was considering it. And it did happen. I started staying home after that, but too little, too late. The power you can have from these messages. My God. We will be discussing more of this because frankly, I'm done talking about the storm. You need to step into your own personal power. Enough of depending on others who just want to keep you as part of a system, their system. As far as this current event goes, everything that appears to suck can be an opportunity if you use it the right way. We thank you for your indulgence. Sheran and Ivo.